Hey guys, if you're new here and you like what I'm putting out, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an upload. So it's finally here, issue 6 of Power Rangers is out now, available digitally and at your local comic book store if you're able to go out and get it. And this issue was quite the doozy. But before we get into today's review of Power Rangers issue 6, remember to hit that like button, helps the video out, pushes it in the algorithm. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you liked this video or not. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button, helps me out a lot. It'd be much appreciated if you could hit those buttons for me on the channel. With that said, let's talk about Power Rangers issue number 6. So if there was one quote I could use to describe this issue, it'd be one famous quote from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
So yeah, this issue is basically a heist and rescue operation between Trini, Ecliptor, and rescuing the Omega Rangers and Astronema. And it was a very interesting run because a lot of characters face a lot of moral dilemmas with the choices they make in this issue, wondering if they're doing the right thing or not, because in this issue, a lot of actions have consequences. And it ends with the characters, or mostly Trini, questioning if they're doing the right thing or not, because a lot of innocent people, or some people getting involved in this issue, do bite the dust in this issue. They get injured really badly, and hinted that they get killed at. It's not confirmed, but you assume they're dead because they fall off a train moving at high speed, so they probably did die. I don't know, it's not confirmed, but I'm guessing they did die in this issue. Now, there's one thing I really did enjoy in this issue, that is the interactions between Astronema and Jason in the jail cell we had at the start of the issue, because a lot of Jason's choices are questioned, his moral choices and stuff like that, if he's doing the right thing or not, are put to the test in this issue. And when it ends, it comes out with him questioning, saying, whether we're doing the good thing, whether we're doing the right thing, we have to do the wrong thing to get what we want or to move forward with our journey. So meeting Astronema for Jason did question his choices that he's doing in life, or shows that, hey, you've got to do the wrong thing to do the right thing. Even if someone does get hurt, you might not like it, but that's how we've got to push forward in life. That's how I saw it, but Jason is learning a lot in this issue. But going back to their interactions in the prison cell, I really enjoyed that because Jason's trying to show sympathy for Astronema, and she doesn't care. She's saying, all you Rangers are the same to me. You guys act like you're doing the right thing, but clearly you only care about yourself. What I'm doing, I'm honest about, and I stick to my goals. Now, there's one thing I did like about that jail scene I was talking about earlier. You have this one panel of Astronema making these little shanks out of sharpened screws, so that is fucking brutal what she's doing. She's making a shank out of screws, and it's implied that she's probably going to kill Jason and Zack while they're sleeping, so she can kill the Rangers, get the jump on them, or she's planning on using them on the guards when they walk by. But either way, you see 3 little screws being carved out by or sharpened by her, and I don't know, I like that moment. That moment popped me. That was really cool that she's like a survivor in any situation. She's making the best of what she can find so she can escape and keep moving forward. That was really cool. But before the fight begins on the train, there's a really fun interaction between Trini and Ecliptor, where Trini jumps on the train and she does her "Hee-ah" or a "ee-ah" shout, and Ecliptor asks if she has to do that, and she replies with, yeah, I did, which is really fun because the Rangers seem to do that a lot, and they do get asked to stop it, like we saw it way back in Necessary Evil where Zack couldn't help himself from doing it, and it's like a trope that they do in the show that they've carried over to the comic where they can't help but do the "he-ahs" and the "ki-ahs," which is a lot of fun. So I do dig that quite a fair bit, that Ecliptor asked, do you really have to do that? And Trini replied with, yeah, I do. Now, one of the highlights during the whole escape heist when they were fighting on top of the train with the Omega Rangers and Ecliptor, one of the highlights was Ecliptor facing off with Vorks, the old man with the mustache, with the Dragon Ball Z Scouter. It seems like these two characters have clashed more than once before we were introduced to them in the comics, where Ecliptor says you don't have a morpher yet, and maybe eventually if you're able to win. Ecliptor kind of taunts him saying maybe S.P.D will put you on the C Squad squad or the D squad maybe someday. So he's just taunting him that this guy isn't a ranger. So you can tell that these characters here, they're probably not one of the higher ups in S.P.D. They're sort of like the low ranking, not goons, but squad members on the team, so these guys eventually would get promoted. It'd be cool if we kind of knew if these guys were related to S.P.D. characters we know already in the nearby future, but it doesn't seem like it. These guys are just random flunkies that are an obstacle for our heroes to face in this comic. But it's interesting that these guys also have a backstory and they haven't been promoted yet. I really do like that attention to detail. Also, their fight scene is drawn really well. I thought that was really cool. Now, there's one thing I really did like what Ryan did with this issue, with the 20-so pages it got this month. That is that every main character is able to do a little bit of something in this issue. One of them being Draken, because Draken has a very interesting couple of pages. So Draken goes to confront Fendrick, the character we saw last month, who entered the gambling game with Zack and Jason at the bar on Onyx, and Draken basically brings Yale along, uses intimidation to get what he wants, but it's the interesting final bit of words that Draken has before he gets the power converter, where he says, you and I have some private business to discuss. What that is, I have no idea, but I'm interested to know what they talked about during those like last moments before the power converter was grabbed. But yeah, Draken's been here before and he's got that intimidation factor going even without Yale, so I am curious to see what these two discussed. I'm sure that Draken was threatening to rough him up a bit, or maybe spill some secret beans about everything going on right now in the universe. I don't know, but either way, I did enjoy the interactions between Draken and Fendrick, where Draken just scared the shit out of this guy. Now, about that whole moral dilemma when it comes to killing in this comic. So, we've got this scene where Trini is busting Jason and Zack and Astronema out of the jail cell, and Jason grabs the big metal dude by the arms, puts him in a full Nelson, and drags him towards the laser bars where he hurts him enough where it renders him unconscious. And then, in the next couple of pages, there's another scene where that guy is perfectly fine, he's got his helmet destroyed, and he's about to get the sneak on Jason. So Astronema basically blasts him or cuts him down, and he falls off the moving train to his doom. And that's where Jason says, "Why'd you do that?" And Astronema replies with, "Don't say I don't do anything for you," which is a callback to when Jason saved her earlier on in the heist or the rescue mission, where he saved her and Jason said, "Don't say I don't do anything for you." So you have this interesting dilemma of morals where one doesn't kill and the other kills. And I do like that twist of dynamic that the two characters have, where Jason doesn't kill unless it's necessary or doesn't kill at all, while you've got the Princess of Darkness that always kills. So in the end, the rescue mission goes off without a hitch and everyone escapes safe and sound. But before everyone departs ways, I really do love the interactions between Astronema and Trini, where Trini goes, "We'll finish this later," and they basically reply with, "Until next time." So that is kind of teasing that maybe these characters will interact again, or they will encounter each other another time. I really do hope that happens, but this was like an interesting clash of personalities and characters to have in this comic, and I think it was handled really well. So, meanwhile, back on the ship, Trini is upset with everything that happened because people's lives were lost, they're gone, the bad guys are gone, and there was nothing they could do about it. But Jason says he knows and he's sorry, but sometimes you have to do the wrong thing for the right reasons. And Trini says he sounds like Draken. And Jason replies with, "Well, maybe Draken was right this time, and we didn't have a choice." So, there's this really long dialogue at the end, this really long narration where it teases the difference between good guys and bad guys and the choices they make. But there's a very interesting panel where you see Astronema training and she's basically beating up a couple of ranger helmets dangling on a string that are tied up. And these helmets are very, very interesting. Now, I can't tell what they are. One of them, the yellow one, looks like the in-space yellow helmet. The red one looks like the Jetman helmet. I have no idea because there are speech bubbles over the helmet, so I really do hope we get to see a clean and textless version released online eventually. The blue one, I'm unable to tell who it is. The mouthpiece looks familiar, but I can't tell with the helmet shape. The black one, I'm unable to tell what it is, but like I said, if they release a textless version, I might be able to decipher it, and I'll probably make a separate video on that, showing what rangers that Astronema has killed off during her travels as the Princess of Darkness. So expect that video soon if we do see those images released eventually. But there's also some on the ground. The green one sort of looks like RPM green. I'm unable to tell, but it could be just a random ranger helmet. But either way, these helmet designs are very, very interesting, and it raises a lot of theories and speculation with what rangers she's killed or not. Speaking of death and destruction, the final panel ends with an Imperial standing on a planet he's conquered, filled with lava, death, destruction, all that stuff all around him, all behind him. It's pretty brutal, to be honest, because you see one hand like coming out of the lava that's like reaching out for something and it's burnt to a crisp, or there's some really good shading done with it. It's a really well drawn page with all the lighting it uses, just using the red and the black and the grey to symbolize the destruction all around it, and I do dig that quite a fair bit. It's a brutal way to end the issue. Anyway guys, that pretty much wraps up my review, my discussion, my mini summary of Power Rangers issue number 6. Overall, I thought it was a really fun issue. I enjoyed it quite a fair bit, and I can't wait to see what happens next. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Special thanks to all the members such as Swagger4. If you want to get your name shouted out in a video like Swagger4 over here, become a Zord tier member or higher for special perks on the channel, such as having your name in the credits of every video and shoutouts like I did for Swagger4 over here. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night, and thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.